Ladies and gentlemen, the location of my first silent film. Yeah, we spent a lot of days here during the summer of '93 filming a walk in the park, or sometimes I refer the short version of the film, I call it Katie's Big Catch because of the lure scene we filmed and the fact that the actress didn't go on to continue to play Violet Q in the sequel Hoops, which won the College Emmy Award, and that was a lot of fun to film also. Okay, let me explain first of all, we are in the midst of a drought. I have never seen this area look this bad and the water this low ever. As a matter of fact, when we were filming in July 1993, the Mississippi River was actually at flood stage, and Des Moines, Iowa took a lot of damage and flooding. So we were the exact opposite of what you see here. This, the famous waterfall scene, would have been a raging torrent. I mean, yeah, this was a waterfall when we were filming. And they made changes to the park right away after filming, or within months or years after filming. These rocks were all added. There were rocks originally down here, but these boulders were put on top of the rocks. And this bridge was there during the filming, but it was brand new because we used the bridge in a couple different scenes. So it was here. And all right, these railings were here. This wasn't, the overhead walk bridge wasn't here during the filming. And this railing extended well beyond, at least to here, if not further. I'm not sure, but there was definitely more railing. So it's possible that the railing extended all the way up to here, the full extent of the railing. The reason that is important is because the scene, which is filmed, my character, a fella named John Bug, is tasked to save a puppy that slipped its way into a picnic basket and is headed for certain doom traveling over the waterfall. And interestingly enough, I really, really, really wish we had gone back to film the cut-ins to complete this scene, because the picnic baskets shots, the cut-ins for the scene went unfilmed, unfortunately. I'm not sure why. I don't remember why. Um, the entire film went incompleted, and in hindsight, it wouldn't have been a hard movie to film in its entirety, but I'm not sure that I had the entire film thought through when we started filming. I don't remember. It's easy, especially with a silent comedy film, to improvise and elaborate and expand on the story once you find interesting things to work with. And the idea of the puppy in the picnic basket wasn't, I believe, it wasn't there initially when we began filming. It came later. The puppy was there, absolutely. The picnic basket was there. The painter and the model were the bad guys, and John Bug and Violet were the good guys, whatever. And the puppy, and it came to be that the puppy was somehow endangered by the painters, and obviously it would not make sense initially why there was that motivation. I believe that storyline, very interesting storyline, came later, and it might have been inspired by the fact that this waterfall was at flood stage and was an obvious set piece to work with. Now, filming this sequence in this location, the action was my character could see that the puppy was about to flow over the waterfall, and I had to save the puppy. So I rushed here with a very long rope, tied it to the railing. Now that I think about it, my little brother played a character in the movie, the character that was waiting on the other side to catch the rope. A very necessary character. In terms of stylistically, I think it would have been a little bit humorous because there was some actions in the subsequent movie Hoops that mirrored this little weird effect. But it would have been funny to have my character throw the rope and catch it also on the same side, the opposite side, and tie it down. You know, a weird thing, but it's like, whoa, that's weird, but kind of funny. And anyway, so we have the rope tied across the waterfall. I trained for the weeks leading up to the filming, practiced building my muscle and hanging from this rope. And I couldn't do it today. I mean, I flat out know I could not do this because I have trouble, working arm over arm with monkey bars now. I mean, I'm not in the best shape that I was in my 20s. So we go out hand over hand on the rope to the center of the waterfall, and I do a couple little weird bits that simulate running in place. Oh, there's a big old fish down there. It's either a bass or a carp. Anyway, I do this bit running in place, and looking to watch for the puppy coming down in the picnic basket. And upon seeing it approach, I loop my feet over the rope and hang. I suspend myself and hang by this part of my foot and commence to swing back and forth. The idea was that I would swing up, and at the moment the picnic basket would have been coming down and catch the basket and save the day. I'm just thinking if we actually filmed the picnic basket in hand. I don't think we did, because it didn't take too long that I kind of got tired of hanging upside down on this rope with raging water a foot from my head. I mean, it's tiring. You gotta use your muscle. And anyway, at one point during the filming, during the swinging back and forth over the rope, I actually slipped. And one of my feet came off and I fell. So my brother, who was filming just someplace over here, or maybe over here, he was filming. He was operating as the camera guy. Actually, you know what? We filmed this in September. I'm thinking September 18th or 19th. So we actually reconvened, a very small crew just to film this scene. I wonder what was the holdup in the summer, because we filmed the initial principal photography in July. I guess that's not so much of a time change, but to come back in September to film this part, which we did, anyway, my brother, who was the camera operator over here, he was a rock climber, and he came equipped with safety gear, which entailed a nylon band which went around one of my ankles and looped fast onto the rope. So, yeah, I fell off the rope. Now, I'm pretty sure that the result with the loop, without the loop, would have been falling and cracking my head on the concrete, probably knocking myself unconscious and flowing with the water, maybe to drown in this raging torrent. Now, having that safety line obviously allowed me the freedom to push the limits. I don't know if that would have happened necessarily without the safety loop, but nevertheless, that happened, And there's footage of this, me hanging, slipping from the rope and hanging from my foot down below the rope. Obviously, I managed to get back onto the rope. But you see in the raw footage me making hand signs to cut, and film, 16 millimeter film was very expensive and a limited quantity. You didn't roll camera without cutting like you can do with video today. Every second we rolled the camera counted, at least for me. And you see, I'm getting frustrated because I know the camera's not cut, and I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of a perfectionist too when I'm filming, so I have been known to get a little bit cranky, but usually I'm fairly friendly on set. Yeah, it's gonna storm eventually here, probably in a couple hours or so. Over here, we filmed the opening shot, day one. Crew across the road. Set up action on Painter and his model. I'm gonna pause it just for a second to change locations. Incidentally, during the production, I camped. I had a tent set up over here, so I stayed overnight during the initial days of production. I remember setting up a shot in this area, utilizing a tree. Maybe it's that stump over here. Anyway, the tree's not here anymore. It was a sloping tree, so you could kind of move the camera dolly and pass under the tree, and it was kind of picturesque. We filmed some shots right over here. The scene where Violet and John are kind of picnicking, and I think Violet's trying to hold John's hand, and they make contact, and he gets really nervous and gets up and goes away. This is the location of the lure scene. No. That's not the tree. This they put in after filming, but not long after. This is the tree where we filmed the lure scene. Yeah, that tree is leaning. That might be the tree I was talking about before, but I swore it leaned further. The only way to know for sure is to check the footage. This is where we filmed the lure scene. And John and Violet are fishing from this end. And I'm trying to think what happened. I'm not sure, but at some point, Violet has the fishing pole. I'm not sure what this setup was. I don't remember. But anyway, Violet, the comedy part was Violet casts the fishing pole, and for whatever reason, John gets hooked and comes out on this side of the tree. So John is hooked and he's coming over here. Violet's over there. Violet feels the tug and thinks she's got a fish on the line. So she reels back and John gets yanked back by the fish line. And he's battling to get to Violet, but being yanked back by her pole, and all sorts of weird, acrobatics ensue. He gets tangled up in the line, rolls about, flips about. I hope this is how we did it. I don't remember exactly, but finally Violet pulls back hard and yanks off John's suspenders, and she gets his suspenders in her hands. It's like, what's going on? Anyway, not perfectly executed, but it shows the beginnings of the physical aspect of the comedy we were putting together. And the whole story